What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today in this video, guys, I want to talk to you about the Wonderland fiasco and what is all going on. There's a lot of people on Twitter making a bunch of FUD, and then there's a lot of people who are like, oh no, it's the best, or I'm making this video so you guys can see what's going on, what really happened, and then you guys can decide on your own. So let's break down a couple of stories, different data points, and let's go and get into this. By the way, guys, let's go and first get into this video and lay out a couple things. I'm not here, this is my ADHD notes. I'm not here to take sides, I'm just explaining what happened. And for those that are looking at FUD and like, oh, everything's going to zero, we're gonna go ahead and break it down now. First, we're gonna go over what happened. Well, this is what happened. A lot of people are accusing Sifu, or Siphon, whatever you want to call him, Michael Patreon, unmasked as Wonderland treasurer. So who's Michael Patreon? This is who they are claiming Sifu is. If you go down into this just talks about Patreon involved in the $8.4 million time treasury transfer and all kinds of garbage. But let's break down who Patreon is. Patreon, like they explain here, has been in several criminal convictions in the past, according to Bloomberg. Before founding Quadra CX in 2013, he was sentenced to 18 months in the U.S. for being involved in identity theft relating to bank and credit card fraud in 2005. Pled guilty, operating a shadowcrew.com in 2002, and now a defunct marketplace that traffics stolen credit card numbers and bank account numbers in 2007. Also legally changed his name twice, from Omar Dihani to Omar Patreon in 2003 and Michael Patreon in 2008. So basically what you can take from this is he has a history of doing the wrong things and defrauding people out of money. Now, I don't know the Michael Patreon guy, or if that's really his name, what actually happened with that. This is just information and news articles that you guys see, that I see. But it tells and paints a story of the type of person he is. Now, I'm not saying that he's that type of person. I haven't seen him personally. I haven't met with him personally. I'm just telling you what these articles state. So now if we go back into here, there are a lot of different accusations, and ZachXBT.eth kind of broke this down a bit. And what was interesting, there were some other tweets as well. I don't have the tweets in front of me to be able to show you, but there were some tweets saying, oh, Danielle and Sifu were taking some of the time or the memo from the treasury, getting a loan against it on MIM, taking the MIM to Bitfinex and trading it for USDT and withdrawing it to a fiat account. Now, a lot of people are like, oh wait, no, he's just borrowing against it. Well, really what's happening on that back end is they're taking that memo, they're getting MIM, and they're getting stablecoins as they go on to the fiat exchange. And if they withdraw from it, then that's just cash in their pockets. And they really don't care if they're liquidated. That is the case that people are trying to paint. Because if they're liquidated, whatever, it was just funny money anyways, and they were able to capture the profits because they brought it in the real world. I'm not going to sit here and say that was their intention or that wasn't their intention. I'm just explaining to you guys what happened so you guys can make your own decisions. Now, this is the conversation that ZachXBT.eth had. There's actually a tweet. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you guys so you guys can see it. And she over here. So this needs to be shared. 0x Sifu, the co-founder of Quadra CX, Michael Patreon. If you're unfamiliar, these are the tweets between Daniele and 0x Sifu. So this is basically Daniele saying, oh yeah, oh okay, so yeah, I do understand he's had a couple of things in the past, and I get it. Daniele is a cool guy. I mean, he understands and people make mistakes. So it's like, okay, maybe he was taking the benefit of the doubt as Sifu, and that's just how he was going about it. That's where I can understand his case. Now you got to understand the other cases. Well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, shame on me, type of thing. He did have a history of criminal activity, so it's like, why is he over the treasury? And then again, you have the other side of, well, we're in crypto. The reason you're in crypto is because you don't discriminate against race, sex, age, color, or previous things you've done wrong. Just how it is. I mean, we're all people. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. So I can understand that case as well. Then you got to understand the other case. It's like, okay, well, that's great, but don't put them over a bunch of money. There's different arguments. Again, I'm not taking sides. I don't want to get involved with this. So if there's comments below saying, oh, you're a loser, you're a moron for telling you both sides so you can make your own decision. Now, this is just some more text back and forth storm, just talking about Daniele, explaining to him what he is doing. He thinks he's a good man, spent a lot of time with him recently, etc. So this is basically also another tweet where it talks about the Quadriga ties back to Sifu.eth. This was labeled back in 2019. So you guys can just see all this info here. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can get all these different tweets and articles so you guys can look it up yourself and figure it out yourself. And this is also a tweet from Daniele right here. This is basically talking about the allegations that were made by against their team member Sifu. And it just talks about, hey, I was aware of this and I decided that the past of the individual doesn't determine the current future. Which is the argument which I was explaining to you that Daniele is trying to make. And this makes sense. I mean, we're all people. We all make mistakes. And also, Daniele makes a really good point here as well, saying DeFi is so powerful. It has no bias about your past, and I have no bias about Sifu. It makes sense. I mean, it's just one of those things like, yes, DeFi is a whole bunch of misfits. There's nothing wrong with being a misfit. In fact, I like the misfits. I'm a misfit myself. I love this place. So these are just a couple of arguments you guys can look at. So now let's get back into the story, like what's up. Now we know the tweets, now we know who Sifu is, and now what is going on. Like I mentioned to you, the rap memo was being borrowed against. Here it is right here. On January 15th, 4,250 time tokens worth 8.4 million in time were transferred from the treasury to Patreon's private wallet, which he added as collateral to Abracadabra to prevent liquidation. Now, 2 days after the transfer, time crashed within 6 days, but this behavior was defended by Daniele and then other people on Twitter, again, taking the benefit of the doubt. However, with the revelation, the fact he was a previous fraudster, now it's starting to change a bit. We're seeing a lot of FUD and a lot of different things coming out from it. Here's an example of one of the governance tweets. Now, this guy was like, governance was a mistake. And this was one of the governance votes. I'm going to shrink my face so you guys can see. This was one of the governance votes that Daniele put up. And they're like, oh, well, these people are voting to keep Sifu, and people are voting no to not replace Sifu, and people are saying to keep him. Well, if you look how much time is really being voted there, 793 and then 476. Let's go ahead and take a look at a more updated screenshot. Here are the current results. 4.7 thousand time saying yes to replace him and no to keep Sifu at 21%. So those are the different data points. So there is a lot of FUD going around. Then you also have someone else like this. I hold spell. I'm thinking Mim breaks peg. Wonderland has to buy it up, maintain peg. Okay, before we go into this tweet, remember, you put up collateral and you can borrow Mim. If you're putting up collateral, you want Mim to go to zero. Why is that? Because your debt is denominated in Mim. You basically just get free money. You get a loan, say you swapped out that Mim for USDT, now, or whatever you want to swap it for, you now have that whatever you swapped it for and all the other stuff you provided as collateral. So you basically just like almost doubled your money. So you're like, thank you, please. So you create a FUD storm and you're like, oh, let's crash everything and make my debt zero. And then it's like, what the snap? This is amazing. I got free money. Yeah, I get it. Free money is cool. Just trying to explain to you guys all the different arguments so you can figure out what's going on. I kind of want to make this as the wisdom one-liner for the video. It's Ecclesiastes 10:19. I'll drop it at the end of the video. Basically, TLDR, it talks about money as the answer to everything. So now this is also the statement from Daniele talking about the developments and what's going on with the frog community and basically how they're going to be stepping Sifu down, or Sifu, whatever you want to call it. Now, a couple things you need to understand is what's going on with memo or time. They're saying that's going to be going to spell. It's going to be converted. Now, me personally, spell, ice, sushi, they are not Wonderland time. They are not Danny's babies, in my opinion. Daniele's babies are spell, ice, and sushi. I'm still uber bullish on what Danny is doing. So I feel there could be a bit of sell the baby with the bathwater right now with all the FUD storms going on. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, time to go buy it all. But what I'm explaining is I'm still bullish on what Danny does. I'm bullish on Danny as a developer. Yes, it was a mistake that he made that you see from the community. But again, I just told you, people make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, well then, I'll tell you one thing. Your species is not human. You're not human. Because every single human makes a mistake. Period. Just hands down makes a mistake. And when you don't, oh boy, you just made a mistake because you're going to make a mistake now. So what can we take away from all this? Well, first, always take profits and be humble. No matter how bullish and how amazing it is, always take profits and be humble. Get your principal back. And I failed to do this so many times. Take your profits and be humble. No matter how good it looks, always get your principal back and play with the house's money. That way, at that point, it doesn't matter. Next, cut your losses short. Don't let them run. I've made that mistake before. In fact, I did that with Wonderland. I did get out, and then I got back in, and then I wrote it down 80%. That's amazing. Good job, Drake. No, bro, that's not amazing. I should have cut my losses short. I should have said, all right, it's down 20%. Time to cut it short. Call it a day. That's it. Good news was I followed my first rule, was take profits, get your principal back. So it was house's money. So technically, I made 20%. So it was like, hey, win-win. Now, again, I want to sum up this video. I'm still bullish Danny. I'm still bullish the team. And the elephant in the room, is Mim dead? Okay, if Mim dies, well then basically a bunch of people are just going to get a bunch of free money. Because if you borrow a bunch of Mim and it goes to zero, well, the debt you are denominated in is worth, well, zero. Now, this is some important data you guys need to watch if you guys are watching this. This is the degen box. A lot of people are probably going to tweet about this and be like, oh, this was always empty. Well, now you can see here it does have some in it, but you're seeing it starting to get depleted again. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But again, there's a lot of FUD going out. Make sure you guys watch this video. If you guys like it, reshare it to someone else. This is the story. You guys make your own decisions on what is happening. If you guys want to jump in the Discord, see what strategies I'm playing and what I'm doing in the markets, there's a link in the description below. It is the Patreon link. If you guys are curious what's in the Discord, well, it's just going to be a bunch of exclusive content that is not on YouTube and strategies I'm playing in the market. You can also chat with a bunch of other DeFi degens just like you. Let's go ahead and leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Actually, we're going to do Ecclesiastes 10:19. Oh boy, it's hot. All right, so Ecclesiastes 10:19. We got this. A feast is made for laughter. Wine makes life merry. And money is the answer for everything. It's important to understand. If you ever want to figure out why someone's doing something, say, what's in it for the money? Huh, how much are they making out of this? Wait, why are they doing... Huh, that makes sense. Oh, why did they make the cereal boxes have less cereal? Or, oh, why did the Apple iPhone not include the charging brick now? It's all about the money. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in the next one. You guys can also catch me on tweeters at rent a home fast, like literally at rent a home fast.